Welcome to Unpacked, real conversations for diplomatic partners who are ready to unpack more than just boxes. This is the space for the brave questions, the messy middles, and the quiet decision to stop shrinking and start showing up fully. We talk identity, purpose, transitions, and what it really takes to feel at home in a life that's always moving. Because you've always been more than just the label, and this is where we say it out loud. Hi, I'm Emma, and I'm with my co-host, Anna. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Unpacked. We're on episode 30, and I'm with my lovely Anna today. Hi, Anna, how are you doing?
Hi, Emma. I'm doing great. How are you? Hi, everyone.
Hi. I'm doing good, thank you. As promised, I'll keep you up to date with how I'm doing, but I have been out. I've been out. Well, not quite on my own. I took my nanny with me for the back seat, but I drove out, and I've had 2 solo nights now with baby Isla here. And Andrew is away.
How did it go?
Honestly, she slept the best she's ever slept.
Oh, maybe he should go away more often.
Yeah, I've been putting her to bed, and she's woke up at like between 10 and 11, and then between 1 and 2, and then just up at 6:30. And I'm like, this is
Oh,
the
that's not
dream.
bad at all. That's
No,
amazing.
I
It's
know.
the dream,
This is the
exactly.
dream. So at
This
the
is the
moment,
dream.
this, just currently, yeah. So things have been going well. I feeling proud that I haven't felt overwhelmed as well. But I think probably the thought about him going away has been worse than actually him going away. Um,
And it's always like that, when it's the first time, like we don't know what to expect. We don't know. And that's why our mind, just as kind and loving it as it is just trying to come up with all these doom, gloom, case scenarios, right? To keep us
yeah,
safe. And mostly none of them is true. Like it's just a
yeah.
protection mechanism. Yeah.
Yeah, and then going back to like our series on confidence, it just show you that when you put yourself, well, not that I would have chosen to put myself into this situation if I had the choice, but obviously being in the situation that where he's been away and having to do it on my own, I'd be way more confident now if this happened when it, well, not if it happens, when it happens again. Um, so it does just show you
Absolutely.
going back and just practicing and doing your reps, and it just becomes natural, doesn't it?
Exactly. I think it's all about doing the reps. It's really like for me, and that's why like I love the gym, but I think it's a perfect analogy for life as well. You normally don't just go to the gym once and think you're all fixed for life.
Yeah.
Everything is practice, right? And normally you don't start with 10 kg dumbbells. If you've never
Yes.
exercised before, like you start with 3 kilograms, so something lighter, and just get better as as time goes. So. I think, yeah, the gym is the analogy for life for me.
Yeah, I love it. And how's your week been?
Yeah. It has been really good. So I'm almost towards the end of my grand Australian retreat. So I've been here for 2 months, and I'm heading back to Lebanon soon. And I'm super excited about that as well because although I can't remember who said that it's lovely to be on your own as long as you have someone you can tell it's lovely to be on my own.
Yes. I
Right?
love that. Yeah, it's so true.
It is so true. And that was exactly my situation. I had 2 months and and it's actually my birthday coming up. It's
Oh,
tomorrow.
tomorrow. Oh, happy birthday
It's
for
tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Thank you. Thank you. And when for me my birthday is like a new year. I really reflect a lot. And I've never in my life I've given myself such a generous gift as time. I had basically 2 months being on my own, but also surrounded by, loving family, living in one of the most beautiful places on earth. I think Sydney is so beautiful. So, and I can also see it. It's kind of I'm ready for the next chapter. I'm ready to reinvent myself again. And as we discussed, Emma, so I'm going to announce it right now that starting from August the 1st, I'm going to take myself and invite you, our dear listeners, and those who watch us on YouTube too. If you won't join me, you just can DM me on WhatsApp or sorry, Instagram There will be a WhatsApp community once a week, a Zoom call, very low key, and it's for free. I think where I am in my life right now, like I'm getting older, and I think one of the gifts of getting older, you become, and if my life experience is my asset. And I also know, we can make more time. I mean, we can make more friends, plans, money, but we cannot create more time. And like, I really want to be very intentional with how I live my life because I know how precious this time is. And it's definitely not about doing more, as we discussed in our episodes as well. It's really doing less and simplifying things because I really came to the conclusion that the truth is simple, and if it's not simple, it's just not the truth. And I think there's just so much noise that leads to so much overwhelm, so much procrastination and overthinking that I'm kind of stuck in this paralysis by analysis and doing nothing. So I'm going to simplify my life and move on to the next chapter, and I invite you to come and join me. So with 4 weeks, we'll be looking at 4 areas of life. There are more, but I think the most important ones are your mind. Everything starts here, really, between your left and right ear. That's it. That's the foundation. And your health. Because if you don't have that, I'm sorry, you cannot do anything else in life. You don't want to. You don't have the energy and the capacity. Relationships, because that's also like, as you said, I think it's wonderful to be on your own. But if you don't have amazing people like Emma smiling at me right now, like, life is not as good as it could be. And finally, money, because I think it's basically well-being. Like, how do you live well? And you know that it's all done intentionally, it's not random, and just having this clarity and purpose. That's what I'm after for my next chapter in my life. So you're welcome to join me.
That sounds so exciting, Anna. And how did you? Sorry, I was so just enjoying watching you light up. I hope I didn't miss it. How do people sign up if they want to sign up
Just
for the
at the
course?
moment, exactly. So I'm going to set up something, but the best way to just DM me so you can get is that it's free. You will like you're going to show up for yourself. Like, obviously, in the amount of time and effort you put into this, that's the amount of result you're going to get. So there'll be some tasks you're going to go through. It's not like, it's going to take up all your time, but I think it's because I'm also going to do it in August because it's a perfect time. Like, the summer is kind of will be winding down. You'll be ready for, September, and then, kind of ace the second half of the year.
Yeah, it's so true, and I think that this leads us onto our topic for today absolutely beautifully, Anna. It's having the confidence to rediscover yourself and
Yeah.
rediscover who you are and rediscover how you want to live. And like you said beautifully, living this life with intention is the best and only way I think to live life. It's so easy, and I wouldn't want anyone to beat themselves up about how wrapped up we get in just the day to day, the autopilot of life, and throw in all of the extra stuff of being a diplomatic partner where your life is lives from one posting to another posting. And it was funny, I was speaking to Andrew the other day, I said, I can't believe we're, depending on what happens, either two-thirds of the way through our posting or halfway through our posting here in Kenya. I was like,
Hmm.
where has that time gone? It's far too fast. And he said,
Yeah.
well, how long do you think would be a good amount of time here? And I was like, well, if you think about it logically, you spend the first 6 to 9 months settling in, finding your people, exploring, feeling a lot more settled. You spend at least 6 to 9 months starting to wrap up your life, whether that's thinking about that you're going back home
Yeah.
or whether you're thinking about going to your next posting, sorting through all your stuff. So that is, we're talking what, 18 months? Like, if you're having a 3 year posting, it's over half of your time that's spent either settling or getting ready to move. And I said, that's a crazy way to
Yeah,
live,
that's
isn't it?
true.
It's a crazy way to live. Um,
It is.
why we
Yeah.
obviously we as people we crave the stability and we crave the security and the predictability of life. the safety, what we talk about when we think about confidence and comfort zones. But we live in a life where we're constantly pushed out of our comfort zone. And if we think about our life in 3 to 4 year posts, potentially half of our life is out of our comfort zone without us having a choice over that in a way. So what do we do in those times of challenge at either the start or the end of the post, and what do we do in the middle to really rediscover who we are and our confidence?
Absolutely, and I think, and I've lived this lifestyle for what, 17 years now. Gosh, I mean, time flies. I kind of keep losing track of the exact amount of years, but that's it. It's almost a treadmill, because it's 3 years and you're busy. Because this sweet spot of just kind of enjoying being there, it's so short.
Yeah.
So exactly, you're always, I don't know, packing or planning to go somewhere, and that's why you as a spouse, especially if you're a mom, can imagine that's all you do, that's all your life. It's kind of by default, you know, structured by those moves, and you settling everyone in, enjoying, and then wrapping up again, and then starting over and over and over again. And I think that's why, before 10 years go like in blink of an eye, gone.
Yeah. So
Because
easy.
it's so easy. And I think what we're going to talk about today is, and yes, life is busy. Like we are busy. Like, we have families and we're moving around. And that's why a lot of it, us live our life by default, like, default given by the, let's say, diplomatic system, our upbringing, like a lot of things we haven't even questioned why we do things certain way. So a lot of it is by default, not by design. And I think that's why when people get to my age, I don't know, let's call it middle age crisis or whatever, people call it this way, because at some point you realize this default is no longer working. Like at some point, like, I'm done with it. It's just not working. If there's a certain amount of time you can kind of do the loops and run on autopilot. But yeah, kind of I've met people who, had amazing corporate careers, making huge amounts of money, living, a bougie lifestyle, flying all over, and then just hitting, like, realizing that's it. Like, I'm either having a heart attack or things have to change. Like, I'm just quitting, like cold turkey. And that's why I think it's the wake up call can come through this banger on your head, or you kind of thinking, okay, like putting more intentionality into your life.
Yeah. And I think we can start with this concept through really thinking about rediscovering yourself and understanding your own identity, and actually picking apart that your identity is not the same as the roles that you do. So if you're thinking about who am I, and lots of people, when we start this lifestyle, or we're given that stark contrast of I've had this amazing life, or I've this amazing career, and then it all kind of disappears, and we all start with the question of who am I? And many of us, because we're so used to answering that question with what do I do, and given the career and the thing, we feel so lost. But I really want everyone to think about that your identity is not the same as your roles. So your identity is so much deeper. And when you think about, what would your best friend say about you? So would they say that you're funny, that you're caring, that you're crazy, that you love spontaneity? This is all part of your identity. So really getting really deep into who I am as a person. And there's a lot of the time that we struggle with that as a question, don't we? When people say, what would your best friend say about you? And very often because I don't know whether this is just a British thing, but generally I think this is all, lots of the time we don't really want to boast about ourselves, do we? We feel like it's good to be modest, and it's good not to show off, and it's good not to
say all of our good qualities, but why not? Let's say all the good qualities about ourselves. Really, really say to yourself about how valuable you are, and how lucky people are, not only that you have them in your life, but how lucky are they that they have you in their life.
Oh my God, absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
I agree. But before we go there, because I'd like actually to elaborate more on like, how to build yourself up. I want to touch base on I agree with you, Emma, what you said. You are not your roles. But also like, if you're thinking like identity, someone can identify as a smoker and then quit smoking and then you become a non-smoker. You can be vegetarian and then start eating meat again. Like these are kind of mundane examples. But identity, like who you are, it's also not set in stone. It's not like, here you are. Well, deal with it. Good luck.
Yeah.
Can I just share a story? Because because I've done it, and I know it's just how it works. Would you believe it or not? But when I was a teenager, I was pretty wild. I had bad friends, and let's say especially grade 10 at school. I was smoking, I was drinking, I was partying with boys. That was fun. I had makeup, and then one by one, my friends were starting getting pregnant. Really, like I was good at school, and then I got into this, peer groups that started kind of doing wild things, and then when I saw that, and some really becoming alcohol addicts, I knew, like, if I continue doing what I'm doing right now, that would be me. I just knew that. And I don't know how, and I don't remember anymore how long it took, but literally within, let's say, a week or weeks, it changed. I became, I started probably looking like a gray mouse because no makeup whatsoever, a ponytail, my clothing style, everything changed because I knew that I had to be that person. So, and I really worked so hard in grade 11 and 12 to get a scholarship to go to uni because I knew that I did not want to be that.
Yeah.
And I think, I don't know how I did it, honestly. But my point is that you can reinvent yourself. You can decide to be someone else.
Yeah. And I wonder whether it is really reinvention or it's just rediscovering who you are at your core. And I don't like. I understand. I love the
Yeah.
idea of the fact that yes, you can choose. You can choose to be like, okay, no, I'm not. I don't like this autopilot life. So I want to do some more spontaneity, like more things that are spontaneous, for example. But I wonder whether you were always spontaneous at your heart, or in your situation, and like you're not.
Yeah.
You're not acting as somebody else. You just found like you had more confidence to actually tap into who you were right all along.
Yeah, that's true. It's a good point. I think it's not like, I think there are so many aspects, like infinite amount of aspects, and obviously some more present and prevalent than others, but it's all innate and it's all here. And it's, it's like a seed, whatever you give time and attention, that is going to grow. And exactly. So for me, I mean, I was always good at school and then kind of not good. And that was my experience. That was kind of this, the intersection where I was standing. And innately, yes, definitely, this kind of discipline, the hardworking part, that was always there. True. I don't think it come, but I think you can cultivate aspects. You can
Yeah.
definitely strengthen them. Like, you feel like, you're not confident. Well, let's go back to the gym metaphor. It's the gym. It's like, the amount of reps. But I think we do naturally gravitate more to certain things than to others,
Oh,
right? Like
absolutely.
some of it is given, but I think the way I see it, you can amplify aspects of within yourself or bring them out to life because I think we have infinite potential. All we need is there.
Yeah. Oh, I
All we need to achieve our dreams, goals, ambitions, it's all in there.
yeah,
Otherwise, we would not have those dreams and ambitions. Really, that's how I see it.
yeah. There's a so as everyone knows by now, like I studied positive psychology, and there's this really amazing research that was done by Martin Seligman and Peterson, and they have these 24 character strengths that they have tested over different cultures, over time, stability, and they found that there was like 24 things that are common to everybody, basically.
Okay.
And you have like your top 5 like strong strengths and your top 5 weaker strengths. But so I did the survey, and if anyone wants to do the survey, please just message me and I can send it. It's like a free survey that you can do to find out about yourself. But when I was studying, I was like, oh, okay, so for example, for me, I had like love, kindness, wisdom, all at the top of mine. That I was like, yeah, that's so true. And actually, one of the things that was really low for me at the time was courage and bravery and all of these things. And at that moment in my life, that was so relevant. I definitely did not feel like a brave person. But through that exercise, I realized that sometimes for me to share the wisdom or share love or be kind to people, I have to be brave. So sometimes you have to use your lesser strengths to really amplify the things that you really, really like love and that you really value as a person. So I was like, how do I do that? Because I'm not brave. And again, you hear me say I'm not brave. So I've already created this story that's
Exactly.
like, it's a full stop moment. Well, actually, you say I am brave, but it's just not. It's like a natural thing for me to do in every moment. So it's not that it's there. And I think that's what really confused me whilst I was studying, that I was like, so we have these 24 character strengths, or we have some and we don't have others. And it's not true. It's like having 24 candles. They're all alight, but some of them are like really flickering really, really strongly. And some of them are just a tiny little like, woo, maybe just glowing ambers.
Yeah, that's a good analogy.
So they're all there, and sometimes we just need to, like you said, we just need to activate them, give them a bit more oxygen, or give them a bit more fuel so that they can burn brightly and burn brightly at different times too. So I am completely with you, Anna. We have this idea of, yes, we have things that are innately just easy for us to access and easy for us to understand and to demonstrate to the world. Some things are not so strong, and it's really about first of all, rediscovering who you are as that person. What are you innately? What are you not able to shine at the moment? What are you not able to shine through? And then if you want to add the reinvention, well, which were the ones that don't come naturally, but you would like to give a little bit of a boost?
Yeah, exactly. I think that's wonderful to know, and I think it's wonderful analogy, right? Like you have them in you, all those 24 candles, just kind of burning a different, level of light, so emitting different level of light, but it's all there. And I think for me personally, it starts all with who do I want to be, in terms of how do I want to feel, like, if I look at my ideal best self, like how does she show up in the world? Like, and then probably, like, and for you too, like, she's courageous and you are courageous, like she's confident and she's smart and she's kind and she treats people with respect and things like that, I think it starts all there, because like everything is first created in your head. And that's where a lot of rubbish stories are created as well. Like, I'm not courageous.
Yeah. And really, like, notice when you say I'm not or I am something, and really unpick that. So I think if I was going to encourage anything, first of all, take a few minutes to write down all of these I ams or I am nots, and actually pick apart about, well, which are the stories that you like to say and which are the stories that you don't like to say about yourself, and decide which one was which. But also stop thinking, I think in this lifestyle especially, whether this is comparing ourselves to before we became a partner, or whether we compare ourselves to what life was like at a previous posting, just stop looking back at the old you, I think. And sometimes it's like, oh, I just wish I could do this like I did before. But just just know that actually that person lived a completely different life, and you have developed so many different perspectives and new experiences. And instead, just ask yourself, like, who do I want to become now, or who am I now, or who do I want to become? Um,
Yeah.
and just know that like the growth comes from integrating your experiences from the past and how you take them forward into the future. You're never ever, even if everything had stayed the same, you would never be able to recreate the past anyway. So
Well, the past, be it 1 minute ago or 5,000 years ago, it's kind of ancient history that's gone.
yeah,
Like you can do whatever, it's gone
yeah,
anyway. Like, what's the point? And I think it's good to, obviously, I think to a degree you do want to look at the past, just to spot some patterns, especially the ones you don't like, unless you want to repeat them over and over again. But like, this like it's feedback. Like, it's lesson, it's feedback. Learned it, and then the thing is, you kind of need to go and apply. But I think, Emma, what you said on is that because a lot of us, the upbringing, like, if we live life not by design but by default, like, I guarantee there'll be a lot of stories in our heads that don't serve us at all. To kind of keep us small, that keep us stuck. And if you really start digging, they are lies. They're not even yours to carry. Like, it just came from somewhere. Or there was one instance and that was the conclusion you made as a child. That has nothing to do actually with reality at all. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Like, a lot of, smoke and mirror type of, lies in our heads. And I think, yeah. So what I'm trying to say is, especially if you're not feeling the greatest about yourself, like, I can guarantee you, it has very little to do with you per se as an amazing human being. It has everything to do with a lot of lies and bullshit stories that you're telling yourself about you. Yeah.
and I would
So,
say, oh, sorry, carry on, Anna.
no, you go ahead.
No, I was just thinking while you were speaking, because it is very difficult. If you do find this hard to find those good qualities, or actually pick apart what the I ams or I'm nots, I would start to think about someone that you admire. So whether this be a celebrity or somebody that I think we can all think about somebody who has who may seem like they have great confidence, or they've achieved something that you admire, and then just really pick apart what are the qualities that you like about that person. And then just know that when you have found all of those qualities, you can only ever spot those qualities in somebody else, because actually they're a true reflection of who you are too. But
Exactly.
really, if you can't find it within yourself, please speak to either Anna or I, because I'm sure we will easily find all of the amazing qualities that you have. But just think about somebody who you really do admire, and you will be able to find that strength inside of you too.
Exactly. And I think that actually led me to this thought, Emma, how important our environment is. Like, because we are like a mirror, kind of holding a mirror to Emma and I, and I hope you can, I kind of reflect back how amazing you are. And I think that's why it's just so important to have loving, supportive environment, with people who can uplift you and who amplify and who can reflect back to you, the amazingness within you, instead of, environment where people pull you down, or, I don't know, compare you to someone else and make you feel small and unimportant. So yes, if you are in environments like that, obviously with family it's a bit difficult. If it's but whenever you have a choice, and maybe we can obviously record an episode on that as well, but whenever it's up to you, you have to be ruthless.
Yes, just find
and
the
and
things.
relentless and really protective of you.
Absolutely. And what a lovely little way to kind of summarize this thing. Just really focus on yourself, protect your boundaries, look after yourself, take some time to introspect, and again have that amazing, Anna's got that amazing offer if in the start, well, starting in August, if you want to
Exactly.
have a nice group of people to do this along with, then Anna has that space. So give her a message.
Definitely, yes. Please come and join me. As like it will be very, it will be very organic, and it's just us going through similar journey, and everyone is welcome, and it's yes free of charge, and it's you showing up for you. So you'll be doing it for you, not for me. But we are going to be doing it together, and that's the beauty of being in a supportive environment. And I think having some accountability helps a lot of us, right? Yes, and just not feeling alone and isolated on a journey.
Yeah. And that is really, to summarize, our having the confidence, and sometimes it is just taking that first step to get involved. So having the confidence to rediscover yourself is just amazing. And then just to kind of take us everybody into the future where we're thinking about going, we're looking at maybe the confidence to reinvent yourself, and to talk about think about this amazing people who live this life, who really have reinvented themselves in many different ways. And we've got a few guests that maybe will be coming on to share their stories on how they've reinvented and rediscovered who they are. But if you would like to share your story, we'd also really love to hear from you. So please do give Anna and I a message to let us know that you would like to also be on the podcast.
Yes,
we would look
that
forward
would
to it.
be definitely, it would be amazing, because I think that's how we can inspire each other and role model certain things, because I think, and I just know we can learn so much from each and every one of you. Like from everyone, we can learn so much, and it's so inspiring to listen to people's stories of their becoming, or their overcoming, or their unfolding. And so, yes, please, if you're interested, give us a shout.
Yeah, and if you want to message Anna, how do we find you?
You can find me on Instagram, Not Just a Spouse. It's my handle. I do have a website, Not Just a Spouse, and my first and last name on LinkedIn. How about you, Emma?
You can find me at The Zesty Life, and my email is in the show notes as well. And we will look forward to having a good old chat next time, Anna.
Absolutely, looking forward to it.
Yes, we've got a very exciting topic next time. The big question.
Yes.
The question that lots of partners dread.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, and I think if you already know and you follow us, you know what this question is. But we are going to be answering or thinking about the question and how we can all answer the question. So, what do you do?
What do you do? Exactly.
What do you do with all of your time that you have, as a partner? So we're going to really delve into that question and how we can confidently answer that question, which is very exciting.
Yeah, that's
so
a really good one.
Yes.
Absolutely. And thank you very much for listening. And it was a pleasure being here with you, Emma.
Oh, it's a pleasure as always, Anna. And I look forward to seeing you next time. And thank you, all of our lovely listeners. See you very soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.